know I'm the last thing standing between you and the next break, so I'm going to make this brief. Matter of fact, I left my notebook on the table because every bullet point that I had on there has already been covered this morning. But we did talk about a lot of the problems that we're facing across the country. And it was interesting to hear the same problems in Arizona and Washington and Maine and Michigan and here in Virginia. We're fighting the same problems. But we didn't talk a whole lot about the solutions. What's the solutions to those problems? Just like here in Virginia when we were combating the assault weapons ban and all the Second Amendment legislation that was going through, we made several trips to Richmond. You have to show up. You have to stare these legislators in the face to make a difference. And we reached out, and I'm a member of the NRA. I like the NRA, but I'm also a member of the Virginia Citizens Defense League. I want to recognize Philip Van Cleve. He is the president of Virginia Citizens Defense League. Please stand up, Philip. Yes, sir. This man works tirelessly to defend your Second Amendment rights here in Virginia. Matter of fact, I think we've got members from all over the country, not just here in Virginia. So on their lobby day, he had 22,000 people downtown Richmond. I was there in uniform with a couple of my deputies, a couple of my constituents, and we were right there in the middle of them, shaking hands and them thanking us, for supporting their Second Amendment rights. We had a great day. They even said all the state police was there and they couldn't have any drones, and talked about how unruly the crowd was, but there was no de-escalation needed at all. I mean, great people there. It was truly good to be a part of that. So after that, the bills kept going through committees, and on the House side, we knew that most of those bills were probably going to pass. But on the Senate side, we identified 4, 5, 6 of the Democrats that were older legislators, had been in there a while, who liked to hunt. So I reached out to the NRA first about doing some television commercials, never heard anything back. I was disappointed in my state representative. So I reached out to Philip Van Cleve with VCDL. He said, absolutely, we'll fund a television commercial. So I got some of my fellow sheriffs from Virginia, from Southwest Virginia, and we targeted which sheriffs we picked. We picked the sheriffs that were sheriffs in the district where these legislators served as well. We met down at Roanoke and we did a television commercial. VCDL paid for it. We pushed that out a few weeks before that Senate vote. And I really think that played a major part in defeating those bills. So now I'm from Southwest Virginia. Grayson County borders North Carolina to the south and Tennessee to the west. So it's 5 hours for me to travel to Richmond. I mean, it takes 2 days basically, drive up, stay a night, stay the next day for meetings. But you have to go. You have to be there to stare those legislators in the face when they vote on these bills. You can send emails, you can make phone calls, that helps, but it's not like being there. We need to show up. We need to show up in uniform, and we need to show up in force to let them know that, we are the last line of the defense for our citizens and our communities, and we're not going to accept and we're not going to enforce unconstitutional laws. We need to deliver that message to them. We will see those gun control bills again, probably in the spring. It is an election year for the House, so hopefully some of them may lay off and not bring them back up in hopes that they can get reelected again, but we are prepared. I know Philip's prepared to combat those bills as well. Also, next year is an election year for the House members. So if you are from Virginia and you have a legislator in your district that does not line up with the Constitution, does not line up with your values, we need to start right now. We need to identify people that can run for those positions and get good, God-fearing people in there that will support the Constitution and will support law enforcement. We've heard all about defunding the police, cutting out qualified immunity, taking away our Second Amendment rights. So we know who their enemies are. Go to the General Assembly website, pull up and look and see who voted on those bills, and let's get good qualified people in place and go ahead and start right now and get them out of office. So the sheriff can do that. If you reach out to people and you push for that, take a stand. There were a lot of sheriffs that came up to me afterwards, after that lobby day. They're like, I wished I'd have been there. I went, yeah. I'm like, yeah, you should have been there. Some of them showed up for the television commercial, believe it or not, and they stood in the background. They said, I'm here, but I don't want to be seen. We got to stand up. We have to take a stand this day and time. This is perilous times for our country. And our citizens are looking to us for leadership, and we need to show them that we are the leader for that. So Thank you for being here. God bless you. If I can ever help you, please call me. Take care.